Hello everyone, it's me Andy, and today we are going to session 2 of our course, How to Be a Good Person, Your Key to Sustainable Happiness and a Good Life. In the previous session, we talked about what are the top 3 needs of a good person, and people ask, we need to know what are the criteria of a good person, then we can actually proceed further. Well, I will give you the criteria now. But first thing we all know is do no evil. And some people say, that's very easy. I don't harm people. I don't do bad things. I'm a good person. However, it is not so simple. We need to be smart. If you have someone trying to kill you with a knife and you don't fight back, you don't run away, and you still let him kill you because he said, do no evil, I cannot harm anybody. That is not wise, right? That is rather stupid. So be smart is rather complicated. The key thing is, at the end of the day, we do not do evil to people. But if people do evil to us, we have to protect ourselves. We cannot be continue to do the good things on the bad person. Isn't that right? So the first criteria is to honor your word, say what you mean and mean what you say. This to me is the most important because I realize that in our modern world, in the quest for success, and in order to clinch a deal, to impress other people, very few people honor their words. Example, your friend is organizing an event and you want to support him, so tell him, I will be there. And then later on, you are not there and you give all kinds of reasons why you are not there. So the key thing is that if you tell people you'll be there, you need to inform people that you cannot go there for whatever reasons, right? And if you do not inform people you cannot go, when you first told them you can go, you are actually very dishonest. And that to me is a very bad person. And many people say, Andy, that's a very small thing. How can you say I'm a bad person? I do a lot of charity. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you can never honor your word to yourself and to others, I don't think you can honor any word to anybody in the world. So you'll be non-stop lying to people. So to me, that is the most important criteria. If you cannot do this, please do not do the others. You can't even honor your word. How can you do anything, right? And the next thing is, do not take what is not yours and do not take advantage of others. Again, to me, this is very important. The suffers. Number 2, many people consider this, yeah, there's a free food given, I take it, what's the harm? The key thing is that you are taking advantage of others. And today you take a small advantage, tomorrow you take a bigger advantage. And when people do something, they have a free seminar, they have a free food, they're meant for certain people. And then you just take advantage of them, you do not do anything. And imagine you yourself were to do such things and people do that to you. How would you feel? Anyway, many people abuse the schemes of government grants, assistance, they will lie, they will cheat the banks. And understand that at the end of the day, if everybody does this, the world is a very terrible place. Don't you gentlemen and ladies agree? Third thing is to be responsible in your communication. Many people, when they say something, they don't care what that impact has on other people. Understand that if you hurt people, the hurt can never be recovered, especially when people are at the most important phase of their life, right? And you say things that hurts them. For example, they have a newborn baby, and you start saying things about how difficult it is to bring up a child. That to me is a very, very bad person because you're not responsible in your communication. If you're responsible, if you tell people that, oh, it's very good to bring up a child, then you have to take care of their child when they have problems. That means you are responsible in your communication. Since we can never be responsible for other people's life, we have to be responsible for our communication. Many people to criticize and give comments. Understand that if people did not ask you for comments or criticisms and you just criticize or give some comments, are you going to be responsible, help them on all those comments? Definitely you can't, right? You tell people, oh, the sound system is bad, you should have this, you should have that. People just sang a song. Can you recommend a good sound system? If you cannot, such comments, you should keep it to yourself. That's the third thing, being responsible in your communication. And we all know everything has 2 sides, the good side and the bad side. So please be fair to others, especially people closest to you. We are usually quite good to our friends and people that we don't know, but to our family members, we are rather harsh, we are prejudiced, we give criticisms without thinking. In fact, out of 10 communication, more than 10 are criticisms. None is not a criticism. And even if the guy has things is done very bad, there's at least something good, right? Everything has two sides. So being a good person is to understand that, be fair to others. And the fifth thing is to do not spread negativeness. Emphasize goodness and help people reduce negatives and move towards positives. To me, that is a very important criteria. We have seen too many news of people killing each other, wars happening, and many people like to spread such news. And then when they see something bad happening, this famous person fall down and then become poor, bankrupt, and then they will go around telling people, yeah, this is bad, he done bad things. Yeah, it's true. This person has done bad things. But what are you adding on? You're adding on to negativeness. You're very happy when somebody falls from grace. Understand that if people do such things to you, how do you feel? In fact, when this guy is falling from grace due to some bad things happening or bad behavior, the last thing he needs is people trying to push him down or step him. The last thing he needs is peace of mind. People leave me alone. So my view is very simple. If you cannot spread positiveness, it's okay. Please do not spread negativeness. And then some people say, I can't just don't spread news, right? So in other words, don't spread news. Don't say anything. If you don't want to say anything, just say good morning, have you taken your lunch? That's at least something more neutral. So stay on the neutral if you cannot be positive and you don't want to be negative, right? And we all know of people who are very good in giving encouragements and messages. And then, I'm a good person, I always encourage my friends. Then I ask him, when you encourage, do you actually do something? He said, I don't need to do, I just encourage. That to me is not a good person. Because after a while, their encouragements and positive messages will become like nothing, and there is no action from you. So it is just like you are being very superficial and you just do for the sake of doing. That to me is actually worse than someone that didn't give any encouragement. Example, the child is failing the exam, we encourage the child to progressing towards bit by bit. And then the child said, this is my little book. Do you like to see it? Do you like to come to my school to witness a graduation? And give all kinds of reasons you can't even go. If you cannot go, at least you do a video of your presence, or you just go for 1 minute, 2 minutes. So to me, go for the actual thing. Action speaks louder than words. And number 7, it's very simple. We all have this fear, greed, and hatred, and they take over us. That's why we do stupid things. This is very simple to understand. Number 8 is to respect people for who they are. We do not respect people because they're rich and famous. We respect people because for who they are. Example, this old man is an old man. I respect for who he is. He's just an old man, right? I don't care whether he has failed, he has bankrupt. He's a human being, right? And then if people do wrong things, bad things, understand there's a reason for doing something. Do not ask the question why. Because you ask the question why, it's a long list of things. How are you going to continue the conversation? In fact, you are actually adding on to the pain. When somebody told you they have just met with some misfortune, some bad thing, you keep asking why. And you are actually making the person feel more miserable. So ladies and gentlemen, to me, good or bad, a lot of people say, Andy, we don't need this course. I'm talking about deeper good and deeper bad. And I realize that many people are doing bad things on a daily basis without realizing it. I'm not saying I'm perfect. By conducting this course, I'm also trying to remind myself to do all these things. So this course is actually helping me and also helping people that watch this course. And the last thing is very simple. If you're not sure what to do, always ask this simple question. What would love do right now? If love would do something is to keep quiet, then just keep quiet. Do not do anything that is about hatred. Ask, what would love do now? And you will just go ahead and do the things.
哇，真的是学到很多东西哈！最后我只是问妈一个简单的问题：你是觉得你是好人吗？
我只能说我是一个如果你说我是好人，我不能说我是真的是很好的，因为我们都会有犯错，但我只能说尽量 做个好人，尽量不去伤害人。我们做事最重要是问心无愧啊，不要去伤害到别人啊。那如果你说好人有分多少%呢？100%多少？我想我最多只能够达到70%，就是这样子。你说我真的很好啦，我不觉得我是很好，因为如果你真的觉得要比较世界上还有其他的人来讲，我还没有达到，没办法达到那个你知道特丽莎修女吗？啊，对，像她这样的世上难找，所以还没有达到那个程度。
好哇，真的是非常感谢 Mark 哈，有70%，其实我觉得已经不错了。